key reasons that the midlife crisis no longer exists. The biggest reason of all is because we have settled and accepted low satisfaction in life.
That's depressing.
We're just cool with not being that happy.
Or we just accept that life's not great.
It goes along with exactly what you're saying.
You're making it worse.
Would you like to know some of the how we got there?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
Okay.
The pandemic caused this, in my opinion.
I think it didn't make it better.
Everybody's weird now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's just less into life, it seems like.
We were also already trending that way. You know, like we were already trending where children before the pandemic didn't necessarily know how to communicate in the best of ways.
Oh, no, right.
We were already trending. You know, people were relying more and more on services to not leave the house.
Right, the more digital
Social
we
media.
become.
Social media. So we were already going in that direction. And then when the world literally shuts down, we didn't have a choice.
Right.
And it became acceptable. But we have found, as a people, with our low satisfaction acceptance, that the reality of getting what we want is disappointing.
I have heard that time and time again.
true.
I just heard some major celebrity. We can talk about it a little bit later, but we're watching the Temptations musical, which phenomenal. About the Temptations, and they're a huge group. I mean, I think number one we found out in the world, or at least R&B group and Motown group in the world, and that was their whole goal. And then they got there, they're like, "Oh,
what? Like my problems don't go away?"
And if anything, their problems got worse. And I hear celebrities talk about it all the time, like Dax Shepard's like, "I wanted to be famous. I want to be rich. I'm rich and famous, and it's not as good as I thought it'd be."
For me, it would be.
That's what you think?
No, it would be. I have
what you
thought
think.
about money for every day, every minute of my life, and it would be better.
Okay.
I'll handle it better. I've got it in my brain.
We can't necessarily say anything about it, but I know for a fact for you, it wouldn't be.
It would.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely 100%.
No, it wouldn't.
Because
Katie.
and
just-
not just you, it's most people. I think you would then move to another like big neighborhood mansions.
Not necessarily. I could live in the same place and be like, okay, I'm at peace. I don't have to worry and stress anymore.
The normal thing for humans to do is to strive for more.
And keep up with the Joneses.
Yes.
But I, in my mind, have already thought about it for years that I would just stress less and maybe get a little more.
That goes against the very definition of who you are as a person. It really does.
Think about the apartment you were in when I first met you.
Yeah. I know.
If you thought you would be where you are now, you'd be elated.
No, I'm actually disappointed of how
Well,
far.
I know you are, because that's who you are. But I'm just saying, you skew negative. But, but I'm saying you'd be elated if when you're a young married couple and you say, "Hey, this is our house, our situation in 10 years," you'd have taken it time and time again.
Yeah. And it's not just money, by the way. It's not.
Right.
Because
No,
let
it's
me
not.
take the fame and let me take the money out of
Sure.
it. How many times growing up, and if this is was not your dream, then so be it. But so many people say, "God, I can't wait until I get married."
Right.
Or "I can't wait to become a mom or a dad." And then you become those things and you realize, yes, they can make you profoundly happier, but they also are work that you
it's
never factored in.
Nope, you don't factor in how difficult.
How there's
Even great
sleepless
things are.
nights.
Yeah.
There are arguments. There are sicknesses. There's sicknesses and death. There are things that you go through as
Right.
costs.
Cost.
Cost.
Divorces, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
all those things that you didn't say all that when you said I wanted to get married.
Well,
No.
You know?
I mean, I pay attention to those things, and I pay attention to what you're saying, where it could lead to more problems, and I could see it. I think you have to always be ahead of it and be like, this could cause more problems, and we have to avoid these extra problems with this new stuff.
We're not. I don't think we're realists when
No,
it
we're
comes,
not.
and that's part of the fantasy and the fairy tale of it all. You
Right.
know, and maybe there aren't that many fairy tales about becoming parents. You know, it's normally meeting them, your soulmate or whatever. But with parents, yes, I have this beautiful bundle of joy, but it came with postpartum depression and anxiety and rage and cost and the biggest happiness of my whole life.
Right.
But I never thought about any of the
No,
realities.
you just thought you have a baby, and that's instantly happiness for the rest of your life.
Then they
Yeah.
don't sleep. Then they have colic. Then all
They
the
start
things.
talking back. Like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
I never, ever live my life in the now, which sucks because it seems like the people that do
I
live their
know.
life in the now seem to be more happy and at peace. And I don't even live my life a little ahead. I'm living my life constantly at all circumstances, like 3 steps ahead. So I'm never satisfied with what's going on here because I'm always pre-planning of what could happen and defending and attack and this and that. I'm never concentrating on what's now.
And trying to enjoy
I mean, think
the
about
now.
it.
Yeah.
Think about even like since I've known you guys, right? It's like I'm the depressor when it comes in. It could,
Yeah.
it could be something that it's like really great, and then I'm like, yeah, but
Right.
Or what about next? You
Yeah.
know, it's
That
for
is
example-
self-aware of
Oh, no,
you.
I
So
know.
yeah, that's
That is
very self-aware.
I mean, there's been times, and just saying this is part of our job, record ratings, right?
Mhm.
We're like, we got record ratings, like, but I mean,
But
that could change next time. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, can we enjoy it now?
celebrate what
We-
we've been working so hard
Can
for.
you give us the 24 hours to enjoy
Yeah.
it?
Maybe just 5 minutes.
5,
I'll take
maybe?
5.
And I'm at the point now where Katie's talking about the midlife crisis.
Yes.
You know, it's because we're settling for less,
Just being unhappy?
and we're just not as satisfied.
Mhm.
I'm thinking about like, you know, it's also because you're just like, you know what, I only have so much time here. You're just trying to do. I'm like at this point, the way people are acting, like, why do people even do anything? It's like, right? It's like we already know now that help's not that great, customer service is not that great, and then you have like a guy coming out like lifting a crane with metal, and that's his business, and I'm like, why does he want to even do that anymore? Let's just not have any cranes. Maybe no bridges. Maybe no roads anymore. What's the point?
Yeah.
The way things are going.
Have you considered, and I'm being serious here, have you considered therapy?
I've been through.
I mean,
No,
just yourself.
Not couples.
Just yourself.
No,
Have you?
nah.
Seems like the hypnosis is not really, it's kind of worn off.
The people who say, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I did the hypnotist.
Yeah,
but I
that
think it's
was
worn off.
for but I think you need to go again, like maybe more than one session.
Yeah.
And the people who say I don't need it are the ones who need it the most,
I didn't say I didn't need it.
or
I
the
just-
who say, man, it's not going to work or it's not going to do any good.
No, therapy's good.
Nah.
They're the
I
ones.
need to go more.
Oh, so good.
What am I
So
going to
good.
say? Because I'm going to start thinking about, why is this therapist even here? What does she care?
Why'd
Yeah.
you even go to school?
Because they do care.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do.
I think Jason would need the darkness for treatment.
Oh,
or
you should
treatment.
go.
Oh, gosh,
retreat,
no.
retreat. Yeah, the darkness retreat.
That Aaron
would be-
Rodgers did.
Yeah.
That would be his
gosh.
demise.
I'll give Katie credit.
Yeah.
She broke some sports news. I don't know how I missed it.
Yeah.
She was like, Aaron Rodgers didn't even say all 4 days. I'm
He
like,
didn't-
what?
He
I
left the
didn't know that.
darkness retreat
Oh,
early.
yeah.
Like
yeah, he
after
did.
like 2.5
Like,
days.
uh-huh.
Or
It
2
was
days.
that bad?
No, well, the way he was spinning it was, I got what I needed.
Right. It
But wasn't
means
he-
like right.
Wasn't he supposed to come out of it with some answer about what he was doing
Right.
with his career?
Yeah.
But has he made an answer?
has
or is
not.
that-
No, he's about to.
He's probably
he
going
is?
to go to the Jets, but
Oh, okay.
But-
it's still he's taking forever.
Okay.
I mean, you're supposed to. See, to me, that's like scarring. The darkness retreat. Ugh.
By yourself for 4 days. Ugh.
well, if he thinks that that's where it's gonna. Anybody who wants to better themselves, and if he thinks that that's how he's gonna get there,
But
cool.
do the 4 days.
Not my
Don't make
path.
a big deal about the 4 days and do half.
And then say I got what I needed.
Right.
Just
But-
admit you got scared of the dark.
Right.
Or it's not as cool as you thought.
Right. That's more relatable.
I don't
Yeah.
think that a therapist could handle Jason, though. I feel like there's no way. Jason would have to come to terms with himself.
You're
like,
right.
you would have to,
Why are you
like,
ganging up on me? I always stick up for you.
well, no. Like, I'm just saying, if you were to go a therapy route, I feel like doing something like that where you're by yourself and listening to yourself is
Or
the best way.
Squid, you might be right, or the therapist would have to have a therapist in the room for that therapist. Like, why is he saying this stuff to me? Like, he's just like, Jason, hold on 1 second. Why? He's gaslighting me, I think. Well, that
Is
happens.
that what you think? Yes. But I do see your point, Squid, where because Jason is Jason, he would want to take full credit for his enlightenment.
Right.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't need to rely on somebody to tell me that. I did it myself.
I'm a self-made man.
I can see it.
Everybody,
see
as
it.
My mom's therapist said, everyone dribbles their ball differently.
That's
and that's
right.
okay.
Interesting.
It's funny that she's
Yeah.
making sports analogies to my mom. She's like, my mom, anyway, she knows sports a
Yeah.
little bit, but yeah. I like that one a
Josie-
lot.
Josie one time said something to me many, many years ago.
One time?
Well, Jason, where she said, "You're not everyone's cup of coffee." And because if you think everybody, the point, same as what your mom's therapist says, takes it differently, enjoys it differently.
But most people like it similar.
No, that's not true.
There's not much.
Try making somebody's cup of coffee the exact way they like it. Try it.
I like
you
the
can't
phrase
do it.
better. You're not everyone's cup of tea is what I've
Cup
always
of
heard.
tea or cup of coffee, but like I like
I like
the
Josie made it her own, though. Coffee.
Well, I don't know what. Maybe I think she, she's been in extensive
Yeah, she has.
therapy.
And she's been very open
Who
about
And
it.
Josie, her whole life.
She
Yeah.
has?
Yes, Jason.
You know that. You not know that?
So open about therapy.
I know she's open.
She's
but
the blonde-headed one that works here.
Remember her? You know?
I didn't know she was in extensive therapy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's so open about all the
Yeah.
things that she has learned. And I remember she said that to me one time, and I thought, I mean, I really processed it and thought, you're exactly right. I just like the idea of changing. It's hard to make somebody's exact enjoyment. You
Right.
can't. You
Right.
cannot be that.
You know
Exactly.
what gives me some satisfaction though in life when I feel like, why is anybody even doing the things they're doing is and certain examples is when you give analogies all of a sudden I get comforted by the analogy.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden this weird depressing angle about life, all of a sudden, oh, okay, I can see it that way. I'm okay now.
See, that's how
That's
therapy
good.
works.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is weird. That is how therapy works.
How that works.
Kind of direct your brain. You're like, oh, my life's an S show, but it's not the worst S
not the
show.
worst.
It could be a little worse,
And
maybe.
they could teach you how to look at the beautiful, bright moments and to be grateful for what it is that you have.
That is true. And that's why sometimes I do go to see like the worst depressing movie on the face of the planet to see like, oh gosh, like when I saw like Saving Private Ryan or Schindler's List, I was like, oh, okay, after that movie,
Yeah.
I feel better.
Feeling
Because
good.
Because that's real bad for people. But yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
however you reach your enlightenment, I don't judge. Another reason that the midlife crisis is going away is because what we want is not the same as what we need, and we're realizing
Oh
that.
my gosh,
We
it's so
Wait,
true.
say that again?
want wealth. We want
Yes.
status. We
No.
want power. But
And we
what
want
you
new.
need are the fundamentals. You need to sleep. You need human connection. You need your health.
Okay,
And we
Katie.
don't value those things, but we're starting to.
Right, but here's the problem.
Mhm.
If I was handed $10 million right now, I would get more sleep.
You wouldn't.
I would get more personal
Not if
family
you don't
connection.
change who you are.
I would though.
Not if you don't change
I
who
would be
you are.
less worried, less stressed out.
Because then you would be worried about where do I put? Do I invest my billions into whatever? Do I go into this mutual stock? I don't know. Whatever.
mutual stock.
See,
It's
I don't know.
mutual
But
fund.
you would be thinking immediately. You would add stress. I just know you, Jason.
But you just told.
you disagree?
I don't disagree.
You don't think I'm already playing this? Katie,
Yeah.
you what you just said, those fundamental things
Yes.
is what I would get more of what's needed.
But,
Yes.
but how do you explain not every wealthy people, but wealthy people you hear of, and it seems from the outside that, okay, it takes away the stress of like not knowing if you can pay your bills. That's a big deal. But other than that, there's so much unhappiness with just people in general.
Because you got the Justin Biebers of the world that always grew up that way, so they don't know and what to feel. When you're already in lifestyle,
Right.
you don't know what it feels to be like, oh my God. You can explain it and you think you know, but you don't know because you didn't experience it. You'll never know.
But it's not the money that is making those people happy, and it's not the money that is making those people depressed.
But it leads
It's
them
that
to.
they're human being. They're things. If you don't change who you are and the way that you look at life, you could be the richest man in the world and be miserable.
Right. That's
You
what I was
could
Yeah,
be.
that is
yeah.
the, yeah.
Could be,
I mean, that's
but
what I
I
was
will
trying to-
say,
yeah,
like
say.
in the normal circumstances of everyday people, if I was handed $10 million, I could be like breathe for a second and be like, you know what, I'm going to concentrate on those fundamental things more now because I have the time, I have the opportunity, I have the less worry, and you have to remember what it felt
That's
like
the
to be
key
like
you
this.
have to remember.
And I videotaped, a lot of stuff, and Carol basically took like 18 million photos of our life leading up. So I know all the aspects of it. I'm telling you, Katie, I know for a fact. And the celebrities get caught up
Okay.
because it's so busy and so many things are going
Because
on.
it's never enough.
But what happens is I think that the high gets there. The high is so big for them that when it's not there, it's like, what's
Yeah.
left?
No, I get it.
All right. Whatever you want to believe.
Yeah.
Just telling you. These are the reasons.
Why is Katie acting like my mom?
I'm not. I'm not. The midlife crisis has gone. We've also stopped learning new things,
That's good.
which is
I already know too much.
we're just like, who needs to learn a new
I feel like
language?
people are like that.
I do think because we have the phones too. It's like there's less emphasis on even when you're younger. Like if I had a smartphone when I was in school, like math,
Oh my God.
please.
Yeah.
I can just ask my phone anything, some crazy
So we
equation.
don't
it'll
learn
tell-
it.
So we don't, but yeah, we don't
We're not
retain it. We don't
learning
learn
it.
Any fact that you need is at your fingertips. You don't have to search or work for anything.
Can you imagine?
Uh-uh.
Imagine
No.
back in the day when I was riding in the back seat of my dad's station wagon, staring at that map that was, tucked
Yes.
into the. If I had to use that to get around, which he did
Yeah.
as a salesman, I would die. I wouldn't leave my driveway.
Right.
But now it's just boop, boop into your phone and it takes you there and you just trust that it will.
You're like, oh, I missed a location. It just recalculates for you.
We just don't learn
We don't have to
anything.
use our brains as
We
much
don't.
anymore, which is real nice.